We've had over 50 vets throughout the day. Here's Al, so you see what Al looks like. Come on out. He's been working hard on getting all this together. Delegate Cox, the floor is yours.
Great. Well, let me first of all thank Al for his great work, and let me thank all of you. You know, I've taught this stuff for 30 years as a government teacher and also obviously being a delegate, but this is where the rubber hits the road, is people being willing, grassroots-wise, to come out and make the phone calls, especially for our veterans community, which I think has been harmed more by this administration than probably any community. So I can't thank y'all enough. You know, what a tremendous turnout. I know Riley and I are just enthused. I've told this has to be a really short speech because we're actually in the way of you making phone calls and me making phone calls. So that's the most important thing that we can do. But you've heard it over and over and over again. This is the most important election. I think I've heard that for the last 10 I've run in. But I will tell you, I think this probably is the most important election. When you can add to your voters in an election like this, it's because it's a turnout election. So if you know who your voters are and you can turn them out, that's probably the most important thing you can do. And so traditionally, you know, we've done these type of phone banks. And it's funny, you know, we've done them for years and years and years. And we found the volunteer phone banks are particularly effective because people respond much more, not only to a volunteer, I'll tell you what they really respond to a veteran, a teacher to a teacher, you know, and it's great, especially when you can call local folks. So it's absolutely essential because in a 2 or 3 point race, it's who frankly does the best job of IDing their voters and getting their voters to the polls. So you know, when I first got elected, there was a really great guy we had run. He literally lost by 12 votes. House of Delegates race, about 70,000 people in the district. And, you know, the one thing I always did when I ran was when I was knocking on doors and making phone calls, I told myself when November came along that the one thing I would do would be I'd knock on every door I could. I can make every phone call I can make because in the end I can be satisfied. I try to contact every voter I can. And that's sort of what these elections come down to. And this one really is going to be close. So
I was just going to tell you that every vote does definitely count. We have a man in the General Assembly right now. When I was elected in 1991, a gentleman by the name of Saunders won a district up in North Virginia. And according to everything, he won by 12 or 13 votes. Well, we went to orientation together in the General Assembly. Well, they did a recount, and Jim Scott, who is still in the General Assembly that went in 20 years ago, won by 1 vote. 1 vote, and he is still there, and that's the reason Saunders did not get elected on that recount. 1 vote. So it does make a difference.